Tommy B here. Just wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on with the 2.4 4G63. In this video here actually is a 4G92 car that ALVIN from Off the Clocks Motorsports has, and he's actually currently parting it out. You are able to buy the 4G92 if needed. So moving onwards, this is the block. ALVIN gave it a good clean, disassembled the block. The holes look actually pretty good. They're a bit glazed, so not optimal, but we'll get that cleaned. The crank is also looking really good. A few score marks and scratches. Those are the Evo rods. These are the standard rods and pistons that we'll have to press out. One thing to note is pressing the pins out of these particular pistons is a very challenging task. So what it actually means is that you could crack the pistons by removing the gudgeon pins. We basically hit all these parts with the inox anti-corrosion solution and just wrapped them all up, wrapped up the block. You know, as you can see here, everything packed up and wrapped, and the head just chilling. Yeah, so it means good stuff's happening, and yeah, just dropped it off to the engine and the head shop, which are conveniently right next to each other. And yeah, looking really good, very excited for this build. And yeah, so one thing to note is that the Evo rods do look to be a direct fit, which they should be, because the 4G69 block is essentially a 4G63, but just with a larger crank stroke. And if you can see there, thick boy on the left, thin boy on the right, boost on the left, and A on the right. The only thing is, as you can also see, it is a press type fitting. It doesn't have a gudgeon pin clip. So that does become a little bit of a challenge to find a shop who would be willing to press out those pins, considering that it is difficult to hold a piston. And any shop that sort of does the work for you, you know, they do have a risk of cracking or hurting the piston. The reason this is an issue is because I'm using the standard pistons from the 4G69, and I'm just going to do some fresh rings and just make sure that all the pistons are within specifications. They do have a little bit of the heat temperature coating that has been taken off, but as far as we're concerned, it shouldn't be anything that's notable. We have sort of gauged and felt the pistons themselves, and they do feel perfectly smooth. The only thing is, yeah, the heat coating is obviously a little bit compromised, so I may look at getting them recoated, but I'm not sure, considering that we're not running too much power through these pistons. So yeah, essentially that's a quick wrap up of the motor and where it's at the moment. Believe me, as soon as everything comes back from the machine shop, we'll begin the engine building process, which will be a much longer and much more in-depth video. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in, and hopefully you guys can possibly attempt to do the same thing that I'm doing. It's taken a lot of research and a lot of time, but nothing that's not on the DSM 4G tuners forum. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. See you later. Make sure to subscribe.